place where all things said are alleged and for entertainment purposes. Ooh, y'all. My apologies. I'm a few minutes late. Happy Juneteenth, everybody. Hey, cousins. How are we? How are we? Let's see. All right. I think there we go. That should be good. Okay. So, how's everybody doing? I think what I'm gonna do today is I'm going to do Twitch towards the end because I would like to do like hot topics, like hot button topics. So those topics will take to Twitch where we can have grown folks conversation tonight. Oh, thank you. Thank you. Yeah, I started to get real cute and real glammed up, and I got tired of my own mess. Okay. And said, no, thank you. I've done enough. I had picked out the cutest dress. It was like a one arm blue dress, asymmetric, real cute. Child is on the bed. It's on the bed. I ain't feel like it. So I'm gonna go ahead and talk about, what we got on our tarot docket for today for allegedly Fridays. And child, this is one I can't wait to talk about. Charleston White watermelon felon t-shirts and his future in the black community. I can't wait to talk about that one because that's so out of line for so many different reasons. Um, on either side. Because how are you helping either side with such a nasty, racially charged message? Like, how dare you? Thank you, thank you. Um, the future of the Essence Festival, child. The Essence Festival has been struggling, okay? Struggling since it is no longer being run by, you know, um, the black community. And child, this is the first year ever that, thank you, many blessings to you. Heavenly Father, give it back to her tenfold. Many blessings to you. Yeah, this is the first time ever that the Essence Festival is going to literally belly plop. The hotels are not sold out, and it's just so much going on to where they don't know how to sell the Essence Festival because it's like the aunties have checked out, child. Aunties are not signing up to go to the Essence Fest this year. Welcome to membership. Thank you for giving those memberships out. So we're going to look at the future of the Essence Festival. T.S. Madison shades Nikki again. At this point, it's starting to feel like your interviews are really being geared towards Nikki in some type of way, as if you don't know how to push the needle and keep things going without mentioning her for those clicks and views. And that's kind of crazy because T.S. Madison has a huge following, okay? Huge following. But what I find to be even more interesting is why haven't you commented on Miss Dominique? Your buddy that got arrested, your buddy that got locked up and convicted. And we don't have to say allegedly, child, because Miss Dominique is in trouble. You haven't addressed Miss Dominique. You haven't addressed your community as to the allegations of if you are actually helping or hindering your community, but you keep making Nikki a focal point. Find that real interesting. Adam 22 and his wife, child, I don't know what the hell they got going over there on No Jumper, but it's like you've got people being interviewed that keep, popping up with the Glock on they in their pants, and him and his wife could be facing fraud, with whatever they got going on with this divorce. It's just a whole lot of shenanigans. Naomi Campbell is going back to court. So, if you don't know, Naomi has not had a good time, the last couple years. She's been accused of defrauding a nonprofit that she worked for, and everything has been downhill ever since. So it took a while for them to get her back in and out of court, but it looks like she's going back to court. So we're going to tap in and see what's going on with that. Don Lemon motions denied. All three motions that Don Lemon's lawyer put in were all emphatically denied. And this is very intriguing because Don Lemon, remember in the beginning, the judge did not want to charge Don Lemon. And then they took it to, I want to say a grand jury, if I'm saying that right. They took it to a grand jury. The grand jury, you know, they dropped the hammer, and now it fell back into the lap of the initial judge who had the case in the first place. And this is the same judge that did not want to charge Don in the first place that turned down all three motions. And part of the motions were to sequester the information from the grand jury to get that. I don't want to just say evidence to get the private information from the grand jury that was supposed to be sealed. So that was all turned down. Let's see. Floyd Mayweather may go to jail over a $200,000 check for a watch that bounced. If he is convicted of fraud with intention to defraud, he could go to prison. So that's going to be very interesting. Now, the Asian boycott, I want to tackle that one on Twitch. And I want to see what the future of Asian businesses look like due to the Black boycott on Asian businesses after a guy went on, I believe it was TikTok, and he dared the Black community to boycott Asian businesses after that sweet little boy was, unalived down south. I believe his name is Cyrus, if I'm not mistaken. So he was accused of stealing a bottle of water. He didn't steal the bottle of water, and he, was chased out of the store, assaulted, and unfortunately fatally wounded in the back. Now, that whole entire workup for me pisses me off because anybody who knows just the smallest remote thing about gun laws, you know that if the person's back is to you, they're no longer a threat, and you don't have the right to use brute force on someone who is no longer a danger to you. Once they are turned away from you, you cannot just open fire. That's not how that works. They're no longer a threat. So if you, fired and hit him in the back, which means he was running away from you, that baby was not a threat to you. And even if it was a dollar bottle of water, Was that really worth taking somebody's life? Now, that man who literally just walked away after this trial, found not guilty, he has a long record of putting his hands on people's children, fighting children in his gas station, disrespecting the Black community in his gas station. And when people were talking about boycotting Asian business, they were only talking about that gas station. They were not talking about Asian businesses as a whole. They only were talking about that gas station. So when that guy got on social media and he pretty much demanded that the Black community, I love it when y'all talk about boycotting, go ahead and boycott everything. Um, I don't think he thought that anybody was going to take him serious. I think he was venting and he thought that Black people were talking shit and nobody was going to actually take his suggestion and put it into effect. Lo and behold, just like Target, now there is a whole nother boycott against Asian businesses in general. And people were only upset with the one business. You get that? The one business. So he really just stepped in it for everybody. Yeah, I heard they released a new video for Mello today. I haven't seen it, so I don't know what it entails. Thank you, butterflies. So yeah, it's that was the thing for me that I felt was highly insensitive. You can't tell people they don't have the right to boycott a business, just one, because there was an injustice. People come up, here where I'm from, they boycott all the time, and it's shut a gas station down in a minute. We'll boycott until they make the police come out and shut that business down. He said, Angel, will you show us how you do your nails? You know what? I could possibly do a live one day and show y'all how I do a full set. It depends on what I want to do, because y'all, I'm extra, and y'all might be on here with me forever, because it's like I can fly through one hand swiftly, and then I get to the other hand, and it's like, ooh, it's getting better though. I found it easier. I don't know if any of you, have ever done your own nails, but I find it easier if I have my hand this way and do it backwards than to go forward, with the the non-dominant hand, if that makes sense. So we got a nice crowd in here, 217, and it's early. Hey, 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 hey. Thank you for spending Juneteenth with me. Said I do mine myself as well. I mean, after a while, once you get accustomed to doing it, it's like, oh, okay. But like, I still like to get my pedicures done. Like, I do my own pedicures, but it's nothing like letting someone else do your pedicure, the massage and the hot towels, and oh, pedicures are lovely, y'all. So yes, 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 yes. So let's see, let's see, let's see. I think I can go ahead and get started. You say you do your girlfriend's nails? Oh, that's what's up. They say you're supposed to face the hand that's harder to do, facing you, like you just did. But see how I found that out by mistake? Because I promise you nobody told me that. Oh man. So y'all, Let's go. And once again, thank you, Jada, with my bougie lady lipstick. This was one of the lipsticks that was in the Chanel box that Jada sent me. Hold on. I want to make sure it focuses. And it's a hydrating lipstick. So it feels comfortable. I love me a good red lipstick, especially if it's like a blue undertint red, because my skin doesn't really do too well with orangey reds. Yes, Jada. Jada sent me a box. She sent me a really cute um box of like a gift box from Chanel with all Chanel makeup and um like yeah, makeup and cosmetic type products like the mascara, lipstick. Like I got a liquid lipstick, a regular lipstick. There's a few things in there. It was really sweet of her. Let's see, what am I going to do first? What am I going to do first? Let's see. Let's get lemon head out the way first. Let's get lemon head out the way first. Oh, nah, baby. I've met Jada Waiter one time. The child will know each other. She's so little. Yeah, I was so shocked at how short she is in person. Jada Waiter about this damn tall. Literally, she about this damn tall with like three asses. Her ass looks ginormous because she's so little. Yes, she is shorter than Nikki. I want to say Jada's probably like maybe 4'10". She's a tiny little thing. She's possibly, I want to say no more than like 4'10". Like y'all think, look, you think I need the step stool? Oh no. Jada needs a ladder. I, I can't even call myself little next to Jada, y'all. Cause that I mean, little just look like you could just pick her up and put her on top of a little wedding cake. But but most people in entertainment are way smaller than you think they are in person. So here's a irrelevant fun fact. Hold on, y'all. Let me cut on my ceiling fan. So fun fact, irrelevant fun fact. If you ever see, a movie or people filming and the camera angle is down, those people are short. If you ever see an angle where they keep showing the headshot or from the chest up, that's usually someone that's tall. And unless it's Kevin Hart, they usually don't shoot short people and tall people in the same scene unless they shoot it at an angle because you'll completely lose one of them in the shot. So yeah, a lot of people thought MJ was taller than he was. Well, I think that's probably because he was slender. He still wasn't as short as most though. So let's see. Don Lemonhead, what deck am I using for you? Um, Alrighty. What did you say? Not Kevin caught a straight. Shit, me and Kevin the same height. He didn't catch no straight. That's the truth. Now, if you see the both of us on camera together, they gonna shoot it straightforward because we both little as hell. Me and him are both 5'3". I want to say, hell, Cat Williams might have like 2 inches worth of height on me. But Cat Williams is actually taller than me and Kevin Hart, believe it or not. Enough with the shenanigans, y'all. Let me go ahead and tap into Don Lemonhead. Come on, Lemonhead. What's going on with you? Show me the energy around Don Lemon now that all three of his motions have been denied. He said y'all the same height is crazy. It's the truth. Six of Wands. So he still feels like he's going to move forward towards victory. But there's something here with the High Priestess at the bottom of the deck that's going to happen that he does not expect. Hello, hello, hello. Oh yeah, the hermit. So he's being ostracized. He's definitely going through a lot behind the scenes, the 9 of Wands, but he still has it in his mind that I may not win the battle, but I'm going to win the war. So his energy still feels optimistic. Queen of Cups. He still feels like he was being a good Samaritan following his intuition. But the Two of Pentacles at the bottom of the deck is letting me know that he's starting to juggle with his outlook on this whole situation. Say he's suing Elon. Child, Elon was just named the world's first trillionaire. I mean, I ain't saying that you can't sue the world's first trillionaire. I'm just saying that if you do, he's got way more resources than you. So you got to be prepared for someone that has way more resources than you to tie up a situation. I mean, he could tie it up for years if he wanted to. Yeah, what he didn't see coming. 10 of Wands, heavy burdens. Heavy burdens. Child, he bet not go back into going at the Queen of Wands. He bet not. Because y'all remember in the beginning, he came for the Queen of Wands, um, dragged her, thought that, that was going to help him in the community. Well, no, no, it didn't. 10 of Wands, burden's getting too heavy to carry. So off topic, but I need the cards to tell us what stocks or was it crypto? You got to book a reading. That's gonna be different for every person. Let's see. So justice talks about the court, strength, and he may not I put it like this, he may try to file another motion between now and July to, get the upper hand on this situation because he's I'm trying to word this in the best way possible. It's almost like a willful cognizance. What is it? What do they say? It- I can't even think of the right term right now. It's like a willful ignorance, a willful. I don't know. It's like it, it's almost like what you would Yes, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Cognitive dissonance. Thank you, Kendall. Thank you, Big Peach. Thank you, ladies. A willful cognitive dissonance. Thank you. Child is so he still feels like they can heal this situation if he keeps fighting. He just keeps oh thank you, said no problem. He keeps thinking that eventually this is going to turn in his favor, but it's getting worse. At the end of the day, the footage that he was responsible for shooting when it comes to him covering this is literally like the nail in his coffin. It's like they cannot get out of the footage of what happened. They can't get out of the realization of people are not letting this slide. Eight of Cups. Yeah, he's got people walking away from him now. Now that this message has come out, it's like people around him are starting to hear the violins and the saxophones play, and they're kind of removing themselves because they don't want to be associated with whatever he has going on because it's definitely not working out the way he thought. Hey, Philly. So, child, thank you. Said love the makeup. Said he's I said, is he related to Megan? I wasn't ready. They might owe the lawyers about the same amount when it's all said and done, child. Oh, Lord. So, he's heavily invested in this, and this is going to drag out for a while. So, this is not something that's going to be wham, bam, thank you, ma'am, and it's going to be over. Um, and I think he's starting to understand that, and it's like his work or sponsorship with work is going to be affected, which is going to affect his money, which is also going to affect him being able to pay for his counsel. Not to say that he can't pay for his counsel, but these kind of cases cost a lot of money. So he's still gonna stand up and defend himself because he's like, eventually I'm going to be able to maneuver and manifest in the situation if I continue to fight for what I believe is right. But the difference here is what Don believes is right, what the government believes is right, and what the American people believes is right are all different. Um, I don't think he thought that it was going to be such a big deal. And it's because people disrespect Christianity on a regular basis. He didn't think this was going to be a big deal. But because it's a house of worship, it definitely is a federal huge deal. And he's starting to understand. Let's see, the hermit, dark night of the soul. Yeah. So he may have family members or people that he's considered as family throughout the years that are, separating from him right now. Queen of Pentacles, Queen of Cups. So this right here is telling me that, he feels like, he's going to continue to follow his intuition. He believes that, you know, um, he's going to gain traction or stability and this is going to work out for him. But people got to understand is the court of public opinion in actual court is not guaranteed to get you the same result. He said, and then the pastor works for ICE. They were dumb in the first place for yeah, raising that church, and the government is going to protect the ICE employee. That's a good point. That's a very good point. Because at the end of the day, if you're a government employee, then you know if you are accosted, it's a different charge than it is for a regular person. So you got something with that, Kendall. And it's already, a federal problem. It's already a federal problem. So the moon, he doesn't know what to expect. But what I'm looking at is what he can expect is a whole lot more hardship. This is going to get way worse. Said exactly. They raided that church because they thought the pastor was ICE. Well, baby, whatever they thought the pastor was, they should have checked what the federal government said about staying out of holy spaces. Because you don't want to have to make the comparison, but I do believe, like, if this was a mosque, if this was a synagogue, I do not believe that they would have raided a mosque or a synagogue. I honestly don't believe it. I think they picked a church that they thought was going to be an easier target. They picked a church that they figured was going to be more docile, and it was going to make a statement, which means this was calculated. Now, I promise you, they went on down to a Pentecostal church, black or white. You go to a Church of God in Christ, you go down to Baptist, you go over to a mosque, child, you would have been on a t shirt. So here it is. The Two of Wands represents choices, and Ten of Wands falls right on top of that, which means that now he realizes his choices have put him in such a burdensome situation that it's getting too hard to carry. He doesn't know how he's going to get out of this. There you go, court situation. Also, this is the highest court of the land that this could get processed through, not just a regular court of your peers. So that in itself is not the best look either. And it's like he's trying to force this, push this, hurry up and rush through this case. Let's get this over with so I can move on with my life. Um, I don't think he wants to do that. I don't think he wants to do that. You don't want to force these people's hands, because the judge already didn't want to charge you, and now it's back in that same judge's court, and it is what it is. The judge had to go ahead and do what they had to do. Good evening to you as well. Said, as a black person, because of our history with people interrupting our services in the past, Don knew better. I absolutely agree. I 1000% agree. We've had our churches burnt down. We've, had people, hung and things like that. So you would think, with the history, and this is a man in his 60s, so it's not like he doesn't know the history of civil rights in churches in America, especially churches in the South. So I would think, just with that knowledge, it should have made him say, you know what, we should stay outside. It's one thing to go in the building, but we can get the same point across outside. Hey, just Janelle. Say ice or not, you don't bust into any church scaring kids half to death. That was awful to see. I agree. That's why I said they should have stayed outside. If you want to protest outside, that's your business. Knight of Wands. Yeah, he thought that this would be over swiftly, in and out. And I don't know if he's received money for legal fees or he expected people to donate money for legal fees, but that's not going to go but so far. So if you see him doing a GoFundMe or anything of that nature, don't be surprised. So here it is, it's like he celebrated too soon and he thought that he had manifested a win, a celebration. And no, not at all. Didn't happen the way you thought it would at all. Eight of Cups. What is this? The devil. Yeah, people are looking at him as toxic and chaotic. They're walking away from him. And once again, the lovers, Gemini or relationship, he could possibly end up, losing his marriage because of this. Um, and a lot of times, it's things like this that make people divorce because of the legal fees. They have to protect their assets. He said, trying to do that show pose, and now he got a pose for the damn mugshot. Ooh, damn. Ooh. Said he better call on those celebs that came out defending him. Baby, they those folks they wouldn't ease on down the road. One of the main people who was, out there championing him was DL Hughley. Where's DL Hughley to stand up and fight for you right now? I know it's Juneteenth. He probably pre-recorded his show, wasn't at work today, but I want to hear what DL Hughley has to say Monday. I would definitely want to hear what he has to say Monday because he was one of the biggest supporters. And, he even fell out with Steve Harvey because Steve Harvey had went to meet with Trump. And those two were having a lot of back and forth with each other. And things were said about each other's children, allegedly. So those two are beefing. So it's like, what in the world is going on? Seven of Pentacles, the Nine of Swords. Yeah, he's got a heavy anxiety right now. He went into court thinking that, he had it in the bag. It's the same judge, no big deal. That judge didn't charge me the last time. I'm going to walk out of here. Everything's going to be good. I ain't got nothing to worry about. And unfortunately, yeah, you do. Yeah, you do. Judge switched it up on him, did the complete opposite of what he expected the judge to do. There was the judge pressure. Let's see. Was there pressure on the judge to crack down on Don Lemon? Was there pressure on the judge to crack down on John Lemon? Interesting question. So you got a message that comes through swiftly, talking about opportunities. I feel like Don's lawyers may have gotten the news first. Hmm. He just knew happier times were coming, but it looks like he's got more exposure coming. There's more evidence. Um there's something else that's going to be very prominent with this situation. And I think Don at the moment may be unaware because there was another person who got cleared and got to walk away, and it's like he thought he was going to get the same treatment. I believe it was like one of the women. Yeah, he was waiting for the message to come through, and it's like he's sorry now because once again, this is affecting his opportunities. And it's like now he's independent media. So, oh, child, judgment. But see, here's the funny thing, y'all. When you see the strength card here at the bottom of the deck, this isn't just about Leo season. This is like him being judged by God Himself. You went into a house of worship and disrespected the house of worship, but you didn't realize that you were also disrespecting God personally by what you were doing. I'm actually more shocked that the judge didn't, charge him in the first place because it was a clear case of him breaking the law. So it's it's not so much as him switching up now and not writing with his initial response, is more so that it was that response in the first place. Six of Cups. Yeah, his past caught up to him. It's like not knowing how to move forward. Show me more about the judge. The Empress and the Page of Wands. Um, Knight of Wands. Yeah, wow. Empress talks about bringing things into fruition, birthing things, creating things, and bringing things to light. So it's like, it looks like Don has a more active role in creating this moment than what was expected or what was thought in the first place. And it may be because there's more evidence that has come forward that shows that he has more of an active role than what was first expected. So that means like emails, DMs, text messages, phone logs, things like that have come to light now. So it when you get an Empress, that means that it looks like you helped to plan this. You are a creator of this crisis. And that's why it looks like the judge went in a different direction from what he went into in the first place, because more evidence has come to light and he looks as if he was more so in the planning process to do this versus I just got a call and showed up. That's what this looks like. Said I don't think they were supposed to storm the church. They were supposed to just be there to protest at the church. That's why I feel like if they had just stayed outside, he would have got the moment he wanted by interviewing the people who walked out versus going into the church and making everybody uncomfortable. Right, he did admit it on camera, but it's something else outside because I'm looking at footage. Um, Page of Swords definitely talks about footage, film. Three of Cups talks about celebrating, and it's like now everything has come to a head. It's over, and he may be facing taking a plea deal. I believe I saw this before the last time I looked into it. It looks like he could be facing a plea deal. Yeah. Eight of Cups to the Devil to the Four of Wands. His stability is really shooken right now, and this is affecting his marriage. Um, if things don't turn around for this situation, his husband could definitely be walking away as a wish fulfillment. Yes, you're right. He has been going down for a while ever since he got fired. His career has not been the same. So yeah, he's got anxiety about how things are going to move forward, and it's like he's juggling with, you know, in his mind how this is going to work out. He's not as sure now. Said dying husband looked fed up, bailing him out. Yeah. So the husband seemed frazzled when he was released. Well, this right here, could be the end of the marriage because I see the husband doing whatever he has to do to protect assets. Like he's going to try to stick by him as long as he can, but when it gets to the point to where the legal fees get to be too heavy, it's too much, and this could affect the husband's life, the husband could go downhill too. He could end up having his husband bail on him. Oh, he said, thank you for clearing that up for me. It must be somebody in the comments. Let's see, the death card. Yeah, high priestess. Don, you really stepped in it. You really stepped in it bad. And I don't think he knows what to expect now, what's coming. Cause I mean, y'all, he started off so jovial. It was like, oh yeah, everything is good. Got the same judge. It ain't no big deal. You know, we gonna go in here for the win. And then it's like halfway through, he realizes, I think I may have been a little bit too optimistic. And then the court cards are right here in the middle. And it's like your past comes back to haunt you. Things go downhill swiftly. The lawyers try to recover. They thought it was going to be an in and out situation, but it looks like he actually helped to plan. This is what this is looking like. It looks like he helped to plan this situation, and there's more footage. So I don't know if it's just his footage or if there was another person who was recording for another news outlet or if other people, were recording on their phones. But something with the footage and more evidence, and it's like everything just flipped upside down for him. And child, this looks bad. This looks really, really bad. So we gonna get out of Donetta Lemon Head's energy. This child, this looks terrible. Yeah, somebody just said he was suing Elon. It's, for what? For what? Like why play yourself like that? Because at the end of the day, even if you get something out of Elon, you're not getting out of this situation. But I told y'all everybody would be in court, but doggone it, I didn't realize literally everybody was gonna be in court. Yeah, my neighbors are setting off fireworks and the sun has not gone down yet. Let's see, where are you at, Don Lemonhead? There we go. Scratch you out. All righty. Let's do the future of the Essence Festival now that the aunties are boycotting. So, as I said earlier, the Essence Festival has been suffering tremendously since it stopped being, about being ran and operated by Black people. Hey, the news show official. Yeah, so it's been suffering tremendously. And for those of you that don't know the financial significance of the Essence Festival, The Essence Festival is the highest grossing Black American festival in all of the United States of America, hands down. Has been for a very, very long time. It generates a ton of money. And this is the first time that not only is it not generating the money that it used to generate, um, it's just the tickets are not completely sold out. The hotels are not booked up. By this time, you can't find anything for Essence Festival unless you got family that lives down there in the NOLA and you got to go stay with them. Or, even if you got family, like let's say Jackson, Mississippi, and you just drive down, like everything is usually always sold out, completely sold out. So we've never seen the Essence Festival still have availability this late in the game. Like literally, the festival is right around the corner. So let's tap into the Essence Festival. Now that it's not owned and operated by Black people, what is the future of the Essence Festival? All righty. You said I'm in Baton Rouge and nobody's talking about going. Wow. I ain't been down there in so long. I got cousins down there, Baton Rouge and Shreveport, and then I want to say you get down right on the other side of New Orleans, down in like Algiers, like that area. And I haven't heard any of them say anything about the Essence Festival. Like, really, to be honest, I don't think I really heard too many people talking about it last year. But this year, no. So that's saying a lot. You right down there. And if they ain't talking about it and you down there, that's really saying something. Because people come from all across the diaspora to go to Essence Festival. At least they used to. Says shout out to Shreveport. Hey, Essence Festival. Show me the Essence Festival. Okay, it's like things are happening swiftly. The Fool talking about they took a leap of faith, and it feels like they moved a little too fast when they took this leap of faith. Also, this is meaning that, it's starting to look like a foolish decision as well. Said enough is enough, get someone else to support since the originators are being disrespected. So it's like they're still gonna go forward with it. But y'all, this feels like going from like, how do I say this? This is like grand opening, grand closing. Like it's it's gonna come and go. Like people gonna be like, oh, Essence Festival, was it? It's like people are like their memories are getting wiped. Here today, gone tomorrow, in and out. You're gonna have people that are gonna go to the Essence Festival. They're not gonna like the changes. They're not gonna like that it's not the same vibe, and they're not gonna stay. Literally, in and out. They're gonna go and find other things to do. Like, how about we're already in the NOLA, so let's go sightsee, let's go get some food, let's get some content done. But as far as actually staying to go to the shows, people they're going to be leaving in and out. They're not going to stick around. I wouldn't be surprised if you have performers come out to perform and those seats look real sparse, depending on who's performing. So two of wands. So it seems like the choice was made to bring people from overseas because they thought this would make a bigger opportunity. I guess they thought that by getting people throughout the diaspora versus using the people who were already doing it, it was going to make it a bigger experience, a more worldly experience, but it tanked it. So they got to understand that certain things have cultural significance for a reason. Like, I'm not going to go to the Caribbean for Carnival and expect that Black people from America are supposed to organize Carnival. That's not our culture. We appreciate it because it's beautiful to look at, but that's not our culture. So it doesn't mean as much to us as the people who live there, who have been a part of Carnival before any of us traveled abroad. So it's the same thing with the Essence Festival. They should have respected the culture and allowed the people who were tapped into the culture to continue to host the Essence Festival. You can't take something from the people, repackage it, refurbish it, and then be surprised when they're like, not so much. Yeah. Yeah, they're thinking, here it is, King of Pentacles, which is talking about, the sponsors, the people who are putting this together. They're thinking about, believe it or not, ending the Essence Festival because it's just not doing what it used to do. They're thinking about a hiatus or possibly ending it all together because it is straight downhill. It looks like they're losing a lot of money, tons of money. This brings millions of dollars in for, that whole entire area. So I could just imagine how much they're about to lose. You said they're powing themselves in the foot. Yeah, local vendors were having issues to get permits. Oh, that's terrible. So are they blocking the local vendors from getting their permits so that they can bring in who they want to bring in first? Because I mean, let's come on now, like New Orleans, the whole feel of the NOLA is what makes the Essence Festival what it is. It's like if you took the Essence Festival out of New Orleans and you don't have those vendors, you don't have the locals, you don't have that vibe, it's not gonna be the same. Said it's funny because Jazz Fest don't even have these issues. No. So the organization got funds from the legislature and the bills were not paid. Wow. Okay, so that's why I'm seeing they're losing a lot of money. Um, and I mean huge. Queen of Swords, Seven of Wands. Yeah, so here go the aunties, child. They standing up, they speaking their piece, and they're like, we say no. We're standing up against what we feel is an injustice. I don't think they expected people to do the quiet boycott and fall back because nobody announced we're not going to the Essence Festival. People just all unilaterally had that what's understood don't need to be spoken. Like, child, you ain't going. Said exactly. You can't mess with the culture and its originality and its authenticity. Right. I mean, and that's with any culture. If that's their thing, let them do their thing. As long as it's not, harmful. So Eight of Pentacles and the Nine of Pentacles. So Eight of Pentacles talks about this is going to really affect the independent businesses. Thank you, Redskin. Yeah, this is going to affect the independent businesses. They're going to, as a whole, lose a lot of money, not just the festival, but the local community. Um, because you got to remember, Essence Fest literally is always completely sold out. Airbnbs, hotels, neighboring cities where you can drive in if you can't stay close, always sold out. Five of Pentacles. Child, somebody about to be broke. Six of Wands. Everybody's deserting them. They're moving on. It's like, no, thank you. No, thank you. You can have it. And see, they're going to try to blame this on the economy, people not having money due to the economy. They're not coming out due to the economy. Child, you a bald head ass lie. This is not the economy. They just not messing with y'all. They don't want to go. People will come up with money for what they want to spend money on. Yeah, the tower. The foundation of the Essence Festival is ruined. They're gonna have to go in a new direction. So if they don't change this next year and give it back to the people who actually know how to run it, consider it officially run into the ground. Alexa, you better shut your ass up. Ain't nobody even ask you nothing. Say they left the vendors in the cold too. Five of pence. Yeah, a lot of people are losing money. I mean, a ton of money. I wouldn't even be surprised if some of these organizers get sued for the way that they cost everybody else money. Because this is a very well loved festival. This has been a very well loved festival for ages. And this has been a staple, Four of Wands, that has brought stability to the business. People make a lot of money. Um, period. So like they're costing everybody. Said content creators, Black Americans were complaining for the past 2 years. Wow. I could just imagine. Eight of Cups. Yeah, everybody swiftly walked away, took the money with them. I tell you what, this is something that needs to be studied in e-commerce class. The power of the black dollar, especially the black female dollar, because it's usually, Essence Fest is usually more women than men that go, but it's something that people go to every year. When you look at all these boycotts this year alone with the black dollar, you got Target, you've got the boycott that happened with the Asian businesses due to the man daring black people to boycott. And then this really needs to be studied. They need to study the black dollar, the power of the black dollar, and what happens when it leaves. Because I mean, Five of Pentacles, Ten of Pentacles, that's literally lost everything in the last 18 to 24 months. Thank you, Jerry Fisher. Yeah, the Chariot and Strength, the Nine of Pentacles. So I'm not seeing that people don't have money, because Nine of Pentacles, independent women, a lot of single women going on these vacations. Like what was that movie, Girls Trip? Things like that. Like women really, really spend a lot of money on travel and these types of things. So it's not that they don't have the money. They're understanding now the strength of these women and their money. They didn't expect that this was going to happen like this. And see, this is the same thing that I saw with BET when they came in and flipped the format for the 35th time. And they wanted to get rid of award shows that we've known forever, just to turn around. Yeah, hold on, let me cut this ringer off. just to turn around and do a Caribbean award show. And it's like, why couldn't you just add a Caribbean award show and still give everybody something that represents them? You didn't have to take anything away from people, who have seen these things and patronized these things for years. Like you still have to respect the viewership or the subscribership or the customer base that kept you going all these years. Yep, said the black dollar on Paul's essence was a rite of passage for Black Americans of all walks of life to celebrate our culture. Yeah, and I don't think that they respected that, but they do now. Because baby, when I tell you this is like the walls of Jericho coming down, it's a lot that they've invested in this, and they're looking at the past and how they've made so much money. Child, Five of Pentacles, they're going to be in debt big time this year. I don't see them making a profit at all. They're going to be in the red. And I mean, seriously in the red. Said they always infiltrate and then integrate and take our stuff. Well, see, here's the thing. Let's have a real conversation, cousins. We haven't owned anything at BET in a very long time. BET stopped being ours a long time ago. Let's remember that. So if we're looking at the Essence Festival, we're looking at BET. Like Essence really hurt because that was supposed to be like one of the last things that was still ours, and now it's gone. Like we don't have Jet like we used to. Like Jet and Essence were staples of our community. Essence was ours. Essence is the epitome of the Black female voice. So when you come up with the Essence Festival, of course, all of the Black women who are a part of the 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 supporters of Essence magazine are going to be hurt because this is generations of our culture getting flushed down the drain. It was one of our most prestigious magazines. Child, the footage is gonna be pitiful from Essence Fest this year. I can't wait to see it. And it's gonna be really bad for the performers that are coming out to perform because it's not their fault that oh, had to let them go on by. It's not their fault that the tickets are selling out. Like people are really just not feeling the direction that Essence and the Essence Festival has gone into. Show me the tower. Wheel of Fortune, Nine of Wands. So they figured like we've struggled to, get this ahead, but eventually we're going to recover and make a lot of money. This is what they thought. Child, that sounds like a pipe dream, but okay. Ace of Cups. Yeah, especially and see what I was just talking about single women with disposable income. This was a major, major rite of passage for women and girls' trips to go to the Essence Festival every year. Even if they were married, like this is the girls' trip where, the husbands, the boyfriends be like, oh, y'all going to Essence Fest? Bye, y'all can go ahead on and go. So here it is. The independent woman, the dollar that came with the independent woman that loved Essence Fest. Okay, travel from near and far. Okay. all across the United States and throughout the diaspora to go to the Essence Fest. Say they get the same people from Rolling Loud, No Legend Acts, Child. They I knew it was downhill for the Essence Festival when I want to say Megan came out to perform and everybody was pissed at the barefoot twerking. Everybody was pissed. Was like, this is supposed to be the classy festival. What is this? Yeah, everybody is walking away due to heartbreak, and they're taking the money with them. Ten of Pentacles. That's all of the money, honey. All of it. Yeah, they thought they were going to be able to still manifest. They were heavy in their heads, but they thought they could still do it. They're starting to understand. But it's like a day late, dollar short. So yeah, I feel like they understood. Well, this represents Gemini, the lovers. They understood by the beginning of Gemini season that they were in trouble because the tickets should have already been sold out. We're still in Gemini season, tickets, everything is not sold out. So they know at this point, they may have to cancel some things due to low ticket sales. He said, Adriel, I'm from the wall and we're not excited about it. Nobody is talking about it. Baby, listen. This looked like cancel. This looks like cancellation. And it's like it's too late to cancel things this year, but it looks like they're going to either have to shrink it next year or cancel it all together because this year is bad. Yeah, they don't know which way to go. They're trying to figure out because it's like they're getting flack from the businesses, could be getting flack from local government because this definitely affecting the businesses. Like the businesses are like, y'all struggling and it's affecting us. And they may have guaranteed them, oh yeah, we're going to be able to do this, we're going to be able to do that, and child is not working. It's like everybody invested so much into this and they're not getting any return. Well, I mean, if Cardi go out twerking the same way that Megan did, I want to say was that 2 years ago, they gonna tear her up because they were pissed that Megan was out there, with people barefoot twerking, bent over with their ass up in the air. It's like this is not that type of festival. At least it's not supposed to be. It's supposed to be the more sophisticated crowd. And don't get me wrong, a good ass bouncing the NOLA is always welcome, but it's a way to do everything. So they're trying to heal and rectify this situation, but it looks like the community already has spoken. They feel backstabbed and betrayed. I guess everybody be taking their money going to that cash money tour for the 9 to 2000 because it don't look like they're going to Essence. Yeah, public humiliation due to scrutiny. This is a burden that's become too heavy for them to carry. Yeah, I see them unloading this festival or trying to possibly repackage it and rename it or something. Yeah, everybody's looking at this as toxic, moving away from it. And the creators or whoever is in charge of running it now, it's a mass exodus. Like they did not expect this. They thought that, we may have struggled, we're going to get the public back. People may feel some type of way now, but, they'll be back. Child, these people ain't come back. It's even less of them coming back. Said, you know, it's a problem if they don't book Big Frida. Yeah, this happens swiftly. Ten of Wands, y'all. I don't think they expected it to go downhill this fast. It's like immediately with the whoever these new people are, immediately it got bad. But they just figured like, okay, well, it's gonna take some getting used to. Everybody will be back next year. Shit. No, they won't. That's a shame. A lot of folks are struggling in LA. This is probably a big part of their year money wise. Oh, well, this is in New Orleans, but this is a big deal for the people that work, in those areas, especially in the downtown area, because they're going to lose a lot of money. The businesses are losing money, the vendors are losing money. This is bad. Now, I got to say allegedly and for entertainment purposes only, but it looked like they screwed up the whole Essence Festival for good. Said they have to win back the city of New Orleans. I don't think they can. I mean, anything is possible, but the way it looks, I don't think they can. Said Dennis is from Africa, and the ex-director Caroline was Kenyan. She got let go, and now is suing. Child, I said somebody was. It looked like they're gonna cancel the Essence Fest. If they can't get the people who put it together to come back, it's just not gonna work. So future Essence Fest, child, it looked like it's on life support. Okay. Let's see. T.S. Madison shades Nikki again, child. Let's go off into T.S. Madison to find out why Miss Onika must always come up in interviews. Because I can't understand why nobody is holding T.S. Madison feet to the fire about these accusations that money could possibly be misappropriated from these nonprofits, especially since Dominique got arrested. So the spokesperson is Liberian and they don't care to learn or understand the culture. They only saw the money. Well, I don't care who you are. If you're going to go into someone else's, culture, you need to respect it. You need to learn from the culture or stand back and let the people do what they're going to do. Hey, Millie, Miss Millie the Mystic. We just finished talking about the Essence Festival. Ooh, I don't know why my ear is itching, y'all. Ooh, but yeah, Essence Festival looks very dismal from this point on out. Let's let's get a deck out for T.S. Madison and let's find out why Madison keeps mentioning the pink lady. Alrighty, show me T.S. Madison and the energy around T.S. Madison. Thank you, Millie. Let's look at T.S. Madison, the energy around T.S. Madison and Nikki. What is the real energy with T.S. Madison doing a press run to shade Nikki? Hmm. So this talks about putting something to rest or trying to possibly cancel or put someone to rest through communication, conversation, and gossip. Three of Cups. Why though? Why? Where did it go? Something flipped. Why? Okay, this talks about manifesting going in another direction. Okay, so of course, that's the conversation of laying a relationship to rest, to manifest, to go in a different direction. But why is this a constant part of your interviewing? Like, I would think the interviews would be more so geared towards giving back to the community and trying to make people, understand that your nonprofit is actually what it's supposed to be and not fraudulent. Because right now you got a friend that's locked up. So I would think you would want to really get out here and push your nonprofit so people can see you doing well in the community. That's just me. Oh, thank you, Asia. So you got this, Eight of Pentacles, which works, talks about work. Oh, okay, okay, okay. I got it. The death card. So whatever T.S. Madison has been doing for work, it's like it's transitioning, because the death card is not necessarily talking about things dying or completely coming to an end, but it's like something comes to an end for something to begin. So it's like the work for T.S. Madison is now starting to transition. The high priestess. Okay. So what's behind the secret to this judgment? Because it's like, what do you really do for work? High priestess means that people don't really know how you make your money, allegedly. There's secrets behind what you really do for work and how you get your money for entertainment purposes only. Shout out to everybody that's in my tarot class. I feel like this is kind of, crawling back into that territory that we read in class, where whatever T.S. Madison does for money or for work may be exposed sooner than later. I don't think it's just corn. It may be corn adjacent, but I don't think it's corn. Said the orientation is its identity way to access dollars, just like Gavin Newsom's wife nonprofit was doing the same. Ooh, now we got to say allegedly and for entertainment purposes only, but that's an interesting sentence. Thank you, kicking it with Keela. So we got Five of Swords here, which is harsh communication, and the Death card. So something eventually is going to have to transition. It's going to have to end, and it's going to have to transform in some type of way. Why is the narrative going to have to change for T.S. Madison? Okay. Six of Pentacles talks about donations, and let's remember TS has the nonprofit, right? So this looks like funding and judgment from people who actually may be funding the nonprofit. Now, see, this is where people have to watch their mouth and they have to really, really know the company that they keep. You don't know who supports Nikki. You don't know who may be a Barb. You don't know who may be MAGA, who may be a MAGA Barb. And it seems like they got a lot of damn money, and you keep running your mouth, it's going to cause a bottleneck effect where that money is going to get stuck, and your considerations are going to be filed in, that new file cabinet called the trash can. Thank you, Keela. Some of these times I come on here and my PJ is just looking crazy, but I figured I was supposed to actually dress up today, y'all. That dress is on the bed. It was cute too. So you got the Six of Wands, which is moving forward towards victory. Um, but it's like you got to consider your options on how to do so. So in the past, there may have been multiple options when it comes to TS and all the money that was made and all the different opportunities, but it seems like the opportunities are not as prevalent as they used to be. There's still opportunities, but the opportunities are changing, they're transforming. So here it is. It's like I'm standing up for myself, I'm defending myself, and then boom, anxiety. Nine of Swords. Why do you have anxiety? What in the world could possibly cause you anxiety? Mm. Something else was about to come out with T.S. Madison and potential business partners. And it's going to be coming out very soon. You got the Lovers to the Page of Pentacles, which talks about new businesses, new things that you're investing in and starting, which whether this is a regular business, nonprofit, but whoever you're working with, there's some developments coming. You said I like these cards. Thank you. On Amazon, these are, let me see, Rosy Future Tarot. They're one of those decks that's like $9, $10. Parallax. Oh no. Knight of Pentacles. Yeah, that the funding is about to start slowing down. Opportunities are about to start slowing down. And see, this is the interesting thing about, you know, when you take a stance, stand on it, stand 10 toes down on whatever your stance is. Because when it all comes down to it, you know, whatever you believe in, this is one of those situations where you're going to have to really, really mean it, because it's like you have no idea who's going to find what you're saying offensive and they're going to stop donating. On top of the fact, people are going to look at the company that you keep. And the company that you keep, as of recently, they go into prison. So you got bigger fish to fry than to talk about the pink lady. Y'all funny. Yeah, like I said, the company you keep, those that you work with. So TS is going to catch it on both ends. It's like you need to separate from some of the people that you associate with, that you're already working with, and you're going to have people that are going to associate, they're going to separate from you, pardon me, due to the company that you keep, that you have been associated with. So those nonprofit donations are going to get very, very skinny. Very, very skinny. People are going to want to see more of what you are actually doing with the nonprofit. They're going to want to see the people that you're helping. They're going to want to know that it's a significant change that is happening in your community, because King of Pentacles, you're receiving a lot of support. So people think that you're receiving this money, you should be making a really, really great contribution to the community. But whoever these investors are, it looks like they're going to start going in a different direction. And this is going to affect T.S. Madison's bottom line, may have already started. And that feels like another reason for potential interviews. Now, funny enough, you go on Jason Lee, Hollywood Unlocked, and child, Jason Lee got legal problems for possibly, allegedly taking some money and thinking that you could put it back later. They say that they cleared the payment. That's what he said. The other people said, no, you took money and did some strange things with the money. So the both of y'all sitting on this set together is very interesting to me, because both of you are really, really, looking kind of interesting when it comes to, should we be giving you money? Should we be trusting you with funds? It's a very strange optic when you look at the both of those people together, and you have one who has friends that are going to prison for misappropriating nonprofit funds, and then another one who's a city official who's being accused of misappropriating the taxpayers' dollars. But y'all sitting up here talking about Nikki. Did you say the cards are rainbowy? That's why I picked them. That voice so much being revealed like you predicted. I told y'all Gemini season was gonna come in kicking in the door. Who said that Frida passed online? I didn't see that. I know Frida's fiance. Well, was it Frida's fiance or was it husband? Well, I guess it's safe to say significant other passed away. I don't think Frida passed away. At least I haven't seen it. But I know I believe his name is Devin. Devin passed away due to diabetes complications. So that was the story, that Devin passed away due to diabetes complications. So you got the two of cups here, and you got the three of wands, and this talks about opportunities with people that you're working close together in tandem. Child, Madison better watch it, honey, because it looks like you got somebody that's gonna spill your tea sooner than later, and you don't even expect it. Yeah, the truth is about to come out about the Eight of Pentacles, which is the work card for T.S. Madison, and it's going to transition whatever it is that T.S. Madison does for work. I smell an exposure coming soon. High Priestess, King of Swords. Yeah, T.S. Madison could have some very, very bad legal problems coming soon, because King of Swords talks about higher legal officials, lawyers, judges, even state. Yeah, this is definitely what we picked up on in tarot class. So there's some legal problems coming up the pike. It looks, allegedly, for T.S. Madison. Five of Swords. Show me Five of Swords. Yeah, child, whatever is going on with T.S. Madison, literally, you're gonna go from this, harsh communication, Five of Swords, to being in your feelings and not saying nothing. Something is about to shut T.S. Madison's mouth. And when it does, it's going to be public humiliation, scrutiny, and shame. But I feel like this is attached to an exposure coming soon and legal problems. Let me see. Wanted to make sure I wasn't missing something. So Tasha K said there was more stuff on them. Child, I'm telling you, whatever it is going to be the death of the funding and how T.S. Madison makes money. Literally, it's a wrap. It's over. Wait a minute, let me cover up the little tarot titties. You know, YouTube be feeling some type of way. But yeah, like no more donations and exposure. Something big is coming. Judgment. Now, this could be spiritual judgment or this could be a judgment in court. but it definitely will cause public scrutiny and people are going to back away from TS Madison. I just said it. Harsh cutoff. People are going to cut TS Madison off. They're going to run away from TS Madison swiftly. Like, I don't want anything to do with you. It's going to be very shameful. So, this feels like it's something to do with the community and the nonprofit. Um, just wow. Oh, Lady T, you're cute. Thank you. Yeah, the moon. So you got the moon here with the seven of wands, and it's like being very, very defensive. Um, because it feels like trying to keep people from seeing what's to come. If I block the communication on one thing, it's going to keep you from figuring out what's going on with another thing, but it's going to do the complete opposite. It's going to cause people to dig and unearth information. And this is going to be the dark night of the soul for T.S. Madison. Yeah. The devil falling under the Page of Pentacles and the Lovers. Yeah, whatever T.S. Madison is doing for business or for money is definitely going to be shunned and frowned upon. And I don't feel like it's like the adult activity that Madison used to do for work. I don't believe it's that, but I do believe it's something to where people are going to be like, I know you lying. I know you lying. And it's going to drag out whenever it comes out. It's going to, yeah, here it is, prison. So it's like, enjoy yourself now. Keep on popping it. Say whatever you want to say. But if you're not careful, you could be facing jail in the near future. Last card. Yeah, whoever he's, well, he, she, don't mean to be disrespectful. Collaborating with, collaborations are done. Collaborations are instantly done. It's this is going to be very shameful, very, very shameful. So let me see if I can ask one more question, and then I'm out of this energy. What could possibly be the reason for this exposure and this shame? Yeah, look at this. The devil in jail. Whatever it is considered to be hella toxic and it's definitely going to lead to prison time. You went out of your way and got the DL Whisperer locked up, and now it looks like you're about to be in prison yourself, allegedly and for entertainment purposes only. This is definitely canceled. Don't see it coming, and it's going to drag on. And when it's all said and done, this is going to be the end of T.S. Madison as we know it. Everything business wise is going to be dissolved. Parallax. Oh, child. Now, mind you, y'all see Nikki's energy did not come out one time on the table. Not one time did we see the Queen of Wands. Not one time did we see the Empress. So, ooh, mercy. Folks got to start sweeping around their own doors before they get to worrying about other folks. All righty, put that back. Said very sad considering Nikki defended TS, shaking my head. Oh well. when people, when they're self-serving, they don't have any loyalty. I mean, my thing is, no matter what your people are saying about Nikki, you didn't have to switch up on Nikki. You switched up on Nikki because you didn't want to lose viewers or subscribers. Sweetheart, take a page out of Jeffree Star's book. Jeffree Star Go Live had thousands of people on the live, and the moment they talk about Nikki, child, he give them hell. He give them hell, and guess what? They come back every week to get cussed out. Every single week. Jeffree Star has not switched up on Nikki one time. Now, I'm not saying that it's impossible that it can happen in the future, but as we know, as what we've seen, Jeffree Star has been 10 toes down. So, oh, mercy, mercy. Let's see. What's next, y'all? Shit. Um, let's see. Floyd Mayweather goes to jail? Question mark. Let's see if it's a thing to where he actually could lose this case over bouncing this check with a jeweler in Las Vegas for 200,000 for a watch. Yes, and Jeffrey dragged folks for dear life about Nikki. He sure do cuss people out every damn week, and they bet not say nothing to him about it either. What deck do I want to use? Money Mayweather. Well, shit, he might have to take the money part off because, child, he going through it. I'm mad at myself. I see the deck that I should have used for the Essence Fest. It's too late now. Uh, okay. Show me Mayweather. What's going on with Mayweather? Will Mayweather go to prison for bouncing the $200,000 check for a watch? Will Mayweather go to prison for bouncing a $200,000 check for a watch? Who's you say cursing them out while getting love notes from Stefan? Oh, no, no, no. Ooh. Allegedly, but Jeffrey did say Stefan was in the DMs. Okay, so you got so you got the King of Cups here. Um, which means definitely he's very, very emotional right now. He's trying to keep his game face together. Literally creation, and which is like he knows that he's created a problem. He's got to handle it the best way possible. But it's like, damn, just I didn't even want to say this, but poverty. Looks like he's flat broke, melancholy, feels rejected, lost everything or losing everything, being ostracized by everybody. It's like he can't wrap his mind around being poor or going back to being poor. Um, Collaboration, the Three of Pentacles, and limitations. So him collaborating to get that watch or doing whatever he was doing can actually land him in jail. Eight of Swords. Oh, damn, not fraudulent Mayweather has a nice ring to it. Child, I mean, sorrow, public scrutiny, shame, humiliation, not getting any sleep, heavy anxiety. He's going through it. He's definitely going through it. Um, I sat and I thought about it the other day, and it's like, okay, the people allegedly robbed you for what, 175 million, which is crazy. But you were worth around 1 billion. What you do with the rest of the damn money? If you got down to 175 million, you still had enough to manage that properly, make your money back in some type of way, at least half of the money back, and live a very comfortable life. How do you go from $1 billion to writing a bad check for a $200,000 watch? I don't think he spent it all on fake jewelry. I think he spent it on real things and wasn't paying attention or had no real knowledge of how fast he was spending. And you got to spend less than what you make. He was spending it seemed like before he was making it. Just damn. Like that was enough money for your whole entire family to have businesses and never work again. Like, child, this is so here it is. He took a gamble and destruction, ruined everything. So it feels like when he wrote that check to get that watch, he knew he was taking a gangster chance. He was making a pimp decision and it backfired. So I want to see how many times he's done this. Because if you took a chance on a watch, who's to say you ain't take a chance on writing bad checks for other things? That damn, so we're richer than he is. Allegedly, child, allegedly. Y'all remember when he went to Dubai and he was over there gambling and they locked his ass up because he ain't had the money to pay that marker? Y'all remember that? And they had to come up with that money to get him back home. We should have knew he had a problem then. Cause that threw me. I said, how the hell you get stuck in Dubai in jail because you couldn't afford a marker gambling? You supposed to be Money Mayweather. Where's the money? We should have knew then it was a problem. So celebration, which is like the Four of Wands, talks about his home life, those are around him. Um, he may not be the only one that could go to jail, but him going to jail will definitely greatly affect his family. Oh Lord, did he send any of his children to college so that they can go out there and do something for themselves? Cause child, I don't know what the hell Yaya about to do. She cocked like a pistol. I don't know what she can do with her life outside of fight young boy NBA's baby mamas. Whew. Definitely writing the check that his ass couldn't cash, literally. So you got the reward here. The Nine of Cups, it was his wish fulfillment that led to what's that? Melancholy. He got what he wanted in the moment, but look how it brought him down in the end. Intuition. Yeah, and this was definitely something that I was wondering about. Like, where was your intuition when these people were betraying you? Like, are we going to find out that Mayweather may have a habit or something? Because it's like, damn, it's like, how did you not catch this sooner? Like, and then when you caught it, why didn't you press charges and get people locked up and sue people sooner? Like, how It's starting to make me think that he may not have been robbed by these people, and that's why he didn't, go to the authorities in the beginning. He could have had debts, and he was signing things over to pay the debts, and he just lost control. Because when you gamble, gambling is a terrible addiction as well. So what's to say that he may have, been given over properties or given over jewelry to cover markers for a while now? Said no shade, he looks like he could. So, yep, said the big wigs getting exposed are probably somehow connected to her. So you got steadiness, and the Knight of Pentacles means that, his money has tremendously slowed down. So remember I said, he was spending money faster than he's making it. But whatever he's making is not coming in like how the boxing money was coming in. And he's just he missed to throw it in the bag. It don't matter what the price is, throw it in the bag. Well, hell, it looked like you threw your whole bank account in the bag. Yeah, good luck, innocent. So he's hoping that he comes out innocent in this case, but it still looked like he broke, y'all. And I mean flat broke. Like could be moving out of his house soon broke. Heartbreak falling on top of the Five of Pentacles, and definitely feels defeated. Ten of Swords. Whoever got him, y'all, they got him good. Do you still have silverware? Are you eating on plastic and paper plates at this point? Geo Shock Media, damn it. Not Alexa Play, spin that shit. Ooh, no, 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 no. I mean, shit, you worth $1 billion. You that is the flex. So it ain't that he didn't have the money. Child, listen, I can only feel so sympathetic for somebody that didn't think enough of themselves to take some GED classes, to hire a tutor to teach you how to read, how to, have literacy and financial literacy. It's nobody's fault that you made all that money and didn't see it as a priority to learn how to read and manage your stuff. Thank you, Miss D to you. What is that? Miss D to you one. Thank you. So you got nostalgia. So it's like he's stuck in the past. Um, and he's like, in the past, like, if you just look at my past, I'm innocent. But it's like child, people they laughed at Fantasia, but child, Fantasia went and got her GED. She went and learned. She went and fixed the problem. And I feel like, Mayweather, we can't feel sorry for you that you had all these years that you could have worked with someone to learn. You dealing with all these different females. If you had got you a solid woman, actually got married to the right woman, that woman would have protected you. And I feel like a lot of this wouldn't have happened. But see, when you got tricks and trollops and all of your damn entourage live off of you allegedly, you don't have nobody to protect you. They just stick around until the bag is gone. So where's his financial advisors? Hell, I don't know. They probably took some stuff on the way out the door too, allegedly. But I don't blame his financial advisors before I blame him for not stepping his education up. So you got the King of Pentacles, enterprise. And this is the way he still sees himself. You said, but how did he write that bad check? They said he had insufficient funds in his Chase account. That's what the news report said. So we're going to have to wait this out because I keep seeing the innocent card pop up to where he's like, I'm innocent. I didn't do this. I didn't do that. And if he's innocent, let's say he believed he had the money in his account and the money got transferred out through a third party that had access to his account and may have taken money, if that makes sense. He could be innocent in that respect, but it's his responsibility to know what he has currently in his account and to spend within his budget, within means. So, how do you not know what's in your account? That's what's going to be really hard for him to prove. Said, I'm sorry, but teaching him the sounds of the alphabet at his age and him getting smart mouth without the intellect, he would have been ate up. I ate the fuck up every single time. I mean, listen, he got the kind of money where he could pay somebody to allow him to talk smart. Well, he had, because it don't look like he got it now. But he should have been mindful a very long time ago that he needed to, really step up his education. It is it's kind of sad because it makes me think like y'all when you think about people who had grandparents that were sharecroppers that came out the south, or foreigners that have children in this country and their children are first generation. They're usually sticklers for education because they want their children to go leaps and bounds beyond where they went. Education is usually very, very important to them because they didn't have the liberty. Like, you listen to a lot of the older Black grandmothers that used to, cook for rich white people and clean their homes. They took every penny they had to make sure their children went to school so that they didn't have to do the same type of jobs. So it's like, did you instill education into any of your children? Because damn it, yeah, you couldn't help your daddy. You didn't see no weird shit going on with your daddy where you could say, hold on, dad, we need to sit down and look at some things. Said the only words that he learned was I have money and not particularly in that order. Said my parents were sharecroppers, 11 and 12 graduated high school, six college grads. See, that's what I'm talking about. Usually when people start off that way, they are sticklers to make sure their children get the education they didn't get. So here it is. Two of Pentacles, juggling, hoarding, um, and you've got the Queen of Cups here, which it says compassion and intuition. And it's like his intuition, how do I say this? Yeah, I remember years, and I mean years ago. I was in my 20s, so don't get to counting too fast. But I was in my 20s, and I'll never forget there was this guy that used to come to where I worked, and he was a unlicensed pharmaceutical rep. We'll say that. Okay. And he could not read. And it blew my mind to find out he couldn't read because, in that moment, he had to be vulnerable. Like he would look at the catalogs and the menus that we had, and he would order by the pictures, but he couldn't read. So me and another young lady, we were the only two that knew that. He didn't trust, just anyone to take care of him because he didn't want people to know he couldn't read. Y'all, what made it even more depressing is he made all this street money, right? and he didn't know his money. He literally didn't know his money. He didn't know the fives, the tens, the 20s. We're talking about a man in his 20s. He made it his whole life, could not read, write, did not know his money, but he had a lot of money and he had fooled people for a very long time. A lot of people had no idea that he was completely illiterate. Y'all, I'll never forget, we would give that man private tutoring lessons, but we would make it look like we were kicking it with him so, he could keep his pride. And we taught him, how to count his money, basic reading. Like this went on for a few months. And to this day, I don't know how he made it that far in life without knowing any basic fundamental things. And he would overtip, which in that environment, it didn't look like a big deal because, he was a baller. But he would overtip as his way of like trying to pay us for tutoring him because we were quiet about it and nobody knew. Said being in special education is sad how many freshmen I had that couldn't read on a first grade level. I'm not shocked. I'm not shocked. Well, he was a moneymaker that didn't know how to count his money. I just couldn't believe he made it that far and he didn't have those basic skills. And just think about it, being in the street is already dangerous. So think about how good his poker face was, that he was out here conducting business, illegal street business, and he had hid it all this time that he was illiterate. Y'all imagine how many times he may have gotten scammed and he had no idea because he didn't know how to count his money or how to read. And the reason why he was working in the street versus having a regular job is because where was he going to work if he couldn't read and he couldn't count money? So it's just crazy. I hadn't thought about that man in years, but it's like looking at this energy gives me the same energy of that guy. Um, it's really sad. This is really, really sad. So you got destruction here, which is the tower, victory, which is the chariot. So he's not going to be able to move forward the way he wants to. Disagreement. He's going to have to really fight this case. And he's going to have to fight this case aggressively to have balance through a new beginning because I don't think he has the money to pay for this, which makes me wonder, do you have the money to pay your lawyer? Like, child. Yeah, so it was his wish fulfillment to be the king of pentacles because it made him feel good to provide and to take care of everybody because him giving to other people helped him to, how do I say this? Him giving to other people helped him to not look weak or to be obvious with having deficits. So it's like nobody would ever wonder if he, you know, um, was illiterate or possibly with special needs because it's like I got money, I could spend this money. Everybody loved the person with money. Would you say we have Bush Jr. to thank with this No Child Left Behind Act? Actually, you could put that on Clinton, babe. Clinton Clinton did the majority of pushing with that. Said professors at colleges are saying that kids can't read books completely. I heard that and it's sad, and I'm not shocked because it seems like now we're in a generation to where it's not important to do cursive anymore. They're not really big on manuscript because everybody's typing, everybody's texting, the phone auto corrects. It's not necessary to really know how to build your sentences because you have all these different apps instead of actually learning English or anything of that nature, proper English. You got Grammarly, you have all these different crutches and kickstands to help you do things that we didn't have help with 20, 25 years ago. So when we had card catalogs and you used to have to go and find 5 to 6 different books to do your research when you were doing a book report. You can go to the computer and look up things, but we still had to source and reference things. They don't have to do that anymore. And it's like people don't have to use their brain power anymore like they used to. So we had summer readings too. So my mother has a 19-year-old foster child that can't read, add, subtract, or spell her name, but she's graduating this year. How the hell is she graduating? Damn. That and see, you said they keep pushing her through, but see, that's not fair to her because she has to be proficient to have a comfortable life. Yes, critical thinking skills is at an all-time low. I mean, I feel like that's the way they want it to be anyway, because if you dumb the people down, they become a lot easier to control. If reading is fundamental, which it really is, and it helps you with context clues and it helps you to be able to understand and have comprehension, things of that nature. How do you have comprehension and how are you able to put things together if you don't have to use any of that brain power anymore? It seems like they oversimplified everything. But this is how you run a nation. If people are not able to critically think, because for one, their comprehension is low, because their reading is low, and they got to go by what they hear with gossip versus what they read and what they research. Y'all, don't that make you think that's going back to the slave mentality to where you had to listen to whatever massa told you because you couldn't read, and whatever massa said goes because how would you know any different? It feels like the same thing all over again. Elon can tell them they won't need it. He can't tell me I don't need to be literate. So we're literally living in a movie, the idiocracy. Yeah, the studies show if you are not on a reading level by grade 3, they are less likely to graduate. But look at what they're putting into the education system. And then, parents, we got to hold the parents accountable because you can only blame the school for so much. Like, I remember, when they had the book fairs in school and how we would go home and bother the hell out of somebody to get money for the book fair. Or, you'd be really, really good in class so you can see if you get an extra ticket or something to the book fair. Like, you don't hear about book fairs. You don't even hear about people reading to their children anymore. Like, I had some of the best nursery books ever, like those old school Disney books, the pop-up books and how colorful the illustrations were. You used to get excited about reading those books. I don't see people buying children books anymore, and I think that's messed up. They just give them a tablet and let them run off. And then the baby don't even learn social interaction or anything like that because nobody's talking to them. You just give them a phone, give them a tablet, and just let them do what they do. How the hell are you bougie because you like to read? My God, the standards are low. That's crazy. So you got surrender here, the hangman. It's like he doesn't know how to move forward or what to do in this situation. They may try to offer him a plea. I see someone trying to offer him help, trying to extend help to him because they know that, he it's hard for him to come up with this money. Perseverance. He's going to continue to try to fight it until he gets progress. Whoo, child. Yep, abuse of power and wisdom. So it's like he's learning everything on the back end and how he shouldn't have trusted everybody to run everything for him without, him actually having an active role in knowing his money and knowing what's going on with his money and his properties and everything. And yeah, I don't think these people just started stealing from him. I think this has been going on for a while and he didn't catch on until it was too late. But once again, yeah, yeah. You mean to tell me you can go out here and, shank your baby daddies, other baby mamas, but you couldn't help to keep up with your daddy and read some of that stuff to him that he can't read? If I knew that that was the deal, I would be jumping in to, call foul play of some type. Like, look, my daddy can't read, so let me get in here and read some of this stuff for him. Goodness gracious, this is sad. Ooh, this is sad. Like I remember, like I don't know about where all of you are from, but we used to have the bookmobile and the swimmobile. And the bookmobile would ride around and we would be so excited to get new books. Like I hated when a lot of the bookstores started closing down, like Walden Books and Borders and things like that, because I would go and spend the day in the bookstore and find all the up and coming books that I liked that I wanted to read, and I would be flipping through previewing books. And I'm a huge like suspense reader, not just urban novels. So like Patricia Collier, James Patterson, things of that nature. I love those kinds of books. So we had that here in New York in the Bronx. Oh, that see dope. I never trusted the swimmobile. I'm like, I'm not getting in there. People pee in the pool. But the bookmobile, oh, I was excited. But goodness gracious, Floyd. I wish him well. And I hope that, he does, you know, get it together. But it's just sad. It's really sad that you don't think enough of yourself to hire a tutor. You could have hired a tutor low key. None of us had to know about it. You could have lied to us and let us think it was one of the people in your entourage and had that person, teach you so that you won't have to walk around oblivious and not knowing what's going on, trusting people to do the right thing, being an easy mark. Okay, so here we go. Charleston White, watermelon felon t shirts, and his future in the Black community. Now, I'm gonna get on my soapbox a little bit with this one. You say I like murder mystery books and self help books. Dope. Um, Charleston White, sir, there's no good explanation for this. There is no explanation that you can give for putting Carmelo Anthony's face on your shirt as a caricature of a watermelon. You know that that's racially insensitive. You know that that's hateful. You know that's very Ku Klux Klan of you, very Uncle Ruckus of you to come up with something like that. There's no excuse for you as a grown ass man who is a husband and a father to not know, especially a Southern man, to not know how egregious it is for you to create such a foul spirited shirt and you want to put it out and sell it. Now you claim you were going to donate 75,000 to Carmelo's family to help with his legal defense. You backed out of that and you said you don't feel his daddy. People were questioning if you even had the money in the first place, if you was just popping it. But for you to create those t-shirts is the lowest of the low. You said they released the grainy footage of Carmelo Anthony and Austin Metcalf incident on Juneteenth. Very interesting. I said the same thing. I haven't seen it yet, but yeah, I said the same thing. Said James Patterson and Stephen King were some of my favorites. So I want to say what I need to say as respectful as possible, but I cannot respect a man who would disrespect himself this way. See, you didn't disrespect Carmelo Anthony, you disrespected yourself because no person of color, especially a Southern black man who had any self respect, would ever create such a monstrosity of an image as the watermelon felon. You know the history of racism in American watermelon. So for you to take that as a black person and run with it, it's crazy. But what am I, what am I to think when you weren't you the one supporting Chud the Builder? Well, look at Chud right about now. Chud over there looking sad and sorry and asking for GoFundMe's and begging for people to contact the prison so he can get his Bible back. So let me see what deck I'm gonna use for Charleston. Charleston White. What deck am I gonna use? That one. So yeah, it's not funny. I get Charleston's mind frame. For this one, he's a straight up idiot. Said Charleston's always stirring the pot. He's always in the middle of chaos. Said he honestly doesn't care the energy towards him as long as he's being talked about. He feels that it will get him more interviews and more money. He also loves rage baiting, so he can sue or press charges. Um, interesting. Interesting. Well, let's take a look at Charleston's energy. Um, I just I was completely floored. And the fact that you wore that shirt on live as if child, it just how can I say this? It gave me the energy of Django when you look at the character that Samuel L. Jackson played, where he hated the slaves more than the master did. just because he was allowed to be in the house in the suit. Said fact, you can definitely see that there's a very quick altercation happening in the video. KA definitely got pushed pretty hard. Okay, I didn't get the chance to see it yet. Thank you, Bryce. Many blessings to you. Oh, hold on. Try to put some love on here. There we go. They've been going through major personal things, blessings. Well, many prayers to you. And if you ever need me to pray with you or for you, please let me know. I would be more than happy to. So, said he was jumped and surrounded on both sides. I couldn't bring myself to watch it, y'all. I need a moment because certain things trigger me to the point to where I want to put my shoes on and fight. So if I know it's gonna get me in a certain energy, I gotta get grounded before I watch it. I didn't watch a lot with the trial for that same energy. When I heard people who were court reporting, like YouTubers, unanimously saying that the Metcalf father was literally directing the testimony of the person that was on the stand, like signaling him what to say, and that was not called out before the judge, I didn't need nothing else. That told me everything that I needed to know. Y'all, look at how quick they processed that young man and cut his hair and shipped him to that grown man's prison. They could not wait to cut that baby's hair and send him to prison. So wasn't it alleged that the father is close friends with the judge? It's also alleged that the father is either related to or close friends with the warden in the prison where Carmelo has been sent to. So a lot of things are alleged right now to the father, the judge, and the prosecutor, which means they need to move the venue. That case needs to be either moved out of that county or it needs to be moved federally to another state so that they can get it out of all of these circles that everybody has. Show me Charleston White. Show me his relationship with the black community now that he has put this shirt out. Wow, say he's the uncle. Seven of Cups. Something going on, y'all. He's considering his options on how to move forward. Why is he considering his options on how to move forward? Because that person looks like they're drowning. Look at this person. You know, over there they have quicksand in the desert, but this person looks like they're drowning. So why is he considering his option on how to go in another direction to keep the balance? And if I'm not mistaken, Charleston got some legal issues himself right now. Judgment, Three of Wands. So he's definitely being judged harshly for taking this opportunity or what he thought was going to be an opportunity. Seven of Coins talks about investing in, this situation. Yeah, I hate to say it, but it's like he is trying to invest in this situation to make money off of it, allegedly for himself. That's what this feels like. It does not feel like he's trying to raise money for Carmelo. It feels like he's investing in this to get a return for himself. That's even worse. He's about to get cut off and he knows it. But who is he getting cut off from? Because he's got heavy anxiety, nine of swords. Once again, everything I'm saying is for entertainment purposes only. All things said are alleged, allegedly. Who is he getting cut off from? Oh, he's getting cut off from loved ones. He's getting cut off from loved ones. He done messed up to the point to where his own people are cutting him off. Not even just the community, but it looks like his own family said you finally went too damn far. Said he is about as slow as he looks if he thought that he would make a profit from that terrible situation. You'd be surprised how much money racism can actually raise. Look at these situations where you see people like the mom at the park that called the little boy the N word, and the man told her about talking to that child that way. Y'all, them people went out and created a GoFundMe for that lady and treated her like she was a hero for calling a special needs black child the N word. She got almost $1 million until karma pulled up on her. Five of Cups, public humiliation and shame moving forward. So he thinks that he can continue to move forward from this shameful moment, but this is different. Something about this is different. It's like he's got to face the ancestors on this one. He's got karmic judgment coming. Baby, you can't escape spiritual judgment. Sorry to let you know. You might be able to dance around people, but you can't pop your way out of karma from the spirit realm. Yeah. Um, yeah, he thought that he was going to be able to move forward, make a lot of money, y'all, but he ended up causing heartbreak and facing heartbreak. So it's like he's trying to get out of the ditch that he dug for himself at this point. Yeah, he definitely need to see the ancestors because he went too far. Says same thing they did with Zimmerman. Now look at him, child, he homeless. Who feels sorry for him? Not me. Lost your wife, lost your side chick, lost everything. You outside in the tent talking about you can't get a job. And to be honest, what company would want to hire him knowing that they can't keep him safe on the job? Even if you believe the way he believes, you can't keep him safe on the job. So here it is. The anxiety finally came out. So he's having sleepless nights, restless about what's going on. So don't let him make you think that this is not getting under his skin. Oh yeah, everybody left him. They're serious. He's living in a tent right now. He's literally outside on the sidewalk sleeping in a tent. I don't know who caught him out there, but somebody took video of Zimmerman outside homeless. Child, Google it, YouTube it, you're gonna find it. They showed him outside in a tent, said he's completely homeless, he can't stay with his family, he lost all his friends, his wife divorced him. The side chick that he went to after his wife, I think they had a baby, she left him, and then he can't get a job. Well, at least the police didn't hire him. But see, he got away with, in my opinion, he got away with what he got away with because Zimmerman's father was a retired judge in Florida. And him being a judge, I believe his father was able to pull a lot of strings behind the scene, but it still caught up to him. So yeah, since something he said got him in trouble, and it's like now he's in his feelings, y'all, and he's keeping his mouth closed. somebody may have told him to stop speaking on this case altogether. Like he may have got one of them phone calls like say something else. Say something else. We gonna pull up. Well, it looks like the case is about to go in a different direction because it's like the truth is gonna come out, which is the wish fulfillment. But it's like the truth is out about him now, and he can't retract this. There's no going back. He said, I'm not trying to laugh at no one's downfall. Oh, I laugh at the evil. He deserved every bit of belly laughs that he could possibly get out of me because that child should still be here. Trayvon should be an adult, working, living his life, possibly, becoming a father. He got robbed of everything because Mr. I got short penis energy, couldn't leave him alone and let him walk down the street and mind his business. So when that 911 operator told him, sir, don't approach him, leave him alone, any compassion for him as a human being, as far as I'm concerned, it went out the window. So he's not a human being to me. He's a piece of shit that lives on the sidewalk. More better for him. At least this way, children can safely walk down the street with whatever they choose to drink, their iced tea, their Skittles, their bags of chips, and he won't be able to fire at them because he can't afford it and he probably had to sell the firearm too. So now at least children in the community are safe. But see, that was spiritual judgment that he faced. He didn't go to prison, but look at his life. I bet you he wish he had those three hots in the cot now. He would have been better off if he went to prison. So judgment for the Six of Pentacles to the Two of Cups. So a lot of people are mad at Charleston, not just for the shirts. They're mad at him for reneging on the offer as well to the family for money. I don't think he thought that people would take this serious. Said Trayvon should be in his 30s. Damn, it don't seem like it's been that long. But yeah, in his 30s, yeah, he should if he wanted to be married and have a family by now, he should have been here to do that. Yeah, he invested a whole lot into this thinking he was going to hit the jackpot and make a lot of money for his family. Um this is, what he thought he was creating was going to be generational wealth for him and his family. Why would you try to create generational wealth out of such a horrible situation that has nothing to do with you? I mean, either way it goes, a child is no longer alive, another child's life is in danger. Like, how in the world is this an opportunity for you to have a come up? I agree, Miss Conceited. It definitely is spiritual energy harvesting. So, y'all, I don't think he's aware yet, but it's like he's getting his walking papers from the community. Charleston is going to really, really, really feel the burn. These, whatever bookings he has, like he's not going to be safe going to some of these bookings. So if you see him going to bookings and people are flexing on him, or he gets jumped, he gets attacked, don't be surprised. I don't wish that on him, but he needs to hire some good security or just stick to being an internet personality because it's not going to be safe for him out here walking around. Um, High priestess, what I just say? High priestess and the five of wands. He won't even see it coming. He won't even see it coming. People will see him down the Walmart and be whooping his ass. He, oh shit, again. Four of coins. Y'all, he could face financial troubles because it looks like this could really affect him getting booked. Like people are not going to want to book him anymore, or you're going to have the people that will book him for the smoke. And that's an old school thing where people will book you to have you show up so that they can put them hands, shoulders, knees, and toes on you. So he's going to have to be extremely careful. Um, the way that he moved around as he knows it has come to an end. Yeah, the chariot, the two of cups, and the three of swords. So that talks about trying to move forward through the heartbreak. Him and his wife, but it's like you caused this, you created this. The magician at the bottom of the deck. Like, how are you playing the victim or looking sad when you caused this type of energy? Yeah, he's worried about being rejected because he knows he can go broke instantly. And this also talks about being ostracized and going broke. So he knows that he finally took it too far, and this could affect his whole way of providing for his family and taking care of his family because this is how he survives. He said people are tired of his shit. I agree. Basically, folks are about to start doing him like they did Rocky Bad. No, that comment is all the way off. Because first of all, people didn't turn on Rocky Bad. Rocky Bad, you know, um, her situation is messed up because she had one individual who, instead of shooting the fair one, because they got beat up, you get somebody to set her up and have men fight her because you couldn't whoop her ass. So that's totally different. But it's like he's gotten the word. Like somebody has already told him, like you tore your ass. It feels like he got a phone call, like a G check. Somebody literally got at him and G checked him. See, the difference with Rocky was she had an incident with one person and they took it too far. This is him offending the entire culture and then having to depend on the culture to still book him so that he could pay his bills. He said he flew too close to the sun. Yeah. Said I watched her interview after your show, Angel, and they brutalized that young lady. Yes, they did. They had men that did that to her. All because a female who antagonized her and got beat up, pride was hurt. Craziest thing about that is that Cuban and Stunner Girl fell out after that, and Stunner Girl turned on Cuban and was going to do her exactly the same way as Rocky. Yeah, it was men that jumped Rocky. A group of men at that. And Rocky is tiny. She's smaller than me. She's another one that's like 4'11", 5 feet tall. She's a little thing. Poor baby. Condolences to her and her family. She just lost her father too. So you got the Wheel of Fortune here. Five of Wands. Once again, y'all, I told y'all he's going to have to be very cautious of how he moves around, and it's going to be a struggle for him to make his money from here on out. It's like he don't have he doesn't have too many chances left. This is pretty much him standing on his last leg. He's practically on a kickstand at this point. I think Cuban and Stunner Girl got their day coming. because from what's, I gotta say alleged, but from what I was told personally, I ain't gonna say by who, it was Stunner Girl who got all that into motion, not Cuban. Cuban went to Stunner and got Stunner to set it up for her. Did she get arrested? I didn't know anything about it. I noticed one thing for certain and two things are for sure. Y'all see how after she got to bragging about putting people in a dog cage, eventually Blue kind of fell back. He made that music with her, the little videos they made, but he started to fall back, and now you don't see him and Stunner Girl around each other no more. I want y'all to pay attention to that. Blue knows street politics. He knows it's only a matter of time. You call yourself being proud of this. If I'm your dude and I'm standing 10 toes down with you, I could end up buried 6 feet with you. Let's see. Going in a different direction, Ace of Swords, because the truth is coming out. Knight of Staffs. Yeah, they thought that this was going to be one and done. It would be in and out. It would be quick. It would be over with. But it also feels like they felt like, the family wasn't going to have but a certain amount of money to go forward with this. But it's like this is going to drag out for a minute because there's going to be a fight to, um I want to say, like, what's the right terminology, like, to reopen this. They're going to fight, and they're going, but what I see them doing is trying to, drag this out and space out the appeal. Like, they may try to make his appeal, 2, 3 years from now, but in the meantime, he's got to stay safe in prison. So y'all pray for him that his appeal don't take that long, because he's a young man, a young boy going into a prison full of grown ass, big burly ass men, and he's got to stay safe. Said the same day the lawyer took the money out of the GoFundMe, same day he switched up. No coincidence. He got them to use the white lawyers. So this right here is like, may not win the battle, but you're gonna win the war. And I do see money being raised for Carmelo, like people, helping to fund the movement. You may see a couple of public figures or celebrities of some kind donating, or people, as silent investors donating. But yeah, Mr. White, child, said he's in the medical unit, he's not in population. That's a good thing. But here's the problem. If they stretch this out, they can't keep him in there forever. Eventually, he's going to have to go into PC. How long are they going to keep him in protective custody? It's like he's got to go out, excuse me, not PC. He's got to go out in the general pop. That's what I meant to say. Eventually, he's got to go out in the general pop. So, right now, because it's very high profile, they have him in protective custody, but eventually, they're going to put him in regular population. And even in protective custody, we're not sure if he's going to be protected. People look the other way, go on smoke breaks, wink, wink. So pray for this young man's safety. You got, okay, so he's going to try to apologize to appease people, maybe apologize to the mother. I see people in Charleston's family that are completely done with him. Like, you need to apologize. You need to make a public statement. I never talk to you again. Like, this is hitting home for him. A lot of people are not happy with him playing with this case like this. Like, this is somebody's real life, and you're playing with this case for opportunities, and then you just walk away. You got what you were going to get out of it, and then you walk away. Was Charleston sent in to do this? Was he sent in as a paid provocateur? Like, it just feels like this may have been what he was designed to go in and do. Let's see. Ten of Swords. Yeah, yeah, I'm telling y'all, it feels like that's what he was designed to go in here and do. And I have to say, allegedly, for entertainment purposes only, Ace of Cups, the High Priestess, the Ten of Swords. It's like, these people accepted him coming in and his help as like, oh, he's genuinely showing love, but secretly it feels like he was going to portray them the whole time. So I use the term paid provocateur. Um, I believe I did. If I didn't, I'm using it now. This feels like paid provocateur, like he was always going to switch up. King of Staffs. He's only worried about, the coverage, the popularity he gets out of this, stirring the pot for a profit, allegedly. Said, I believe it. I never understood why he was snapping off on KA's dad in the first place, felt very out of the blue. Well, Ace of Cups, High Priestess, Ten of Swords. It's like he was sent in. He showed them all this love. We got to stick together. We're family. But it seems like there was always another agenda. And then here it is, Five of Cups, Four of Coins. Um, it's like that's the energy the family was supposed to be in, but that's what he ended up in. And then boom, Eight of Cups, you walk away. So he was supposed to walk away somehow, some way, and leave them destitute, but it ended up turning into shame and humiliation for him. He's very stubborn, so he didn't want to believe that he pretty much put a nail in his own, professional coffin. This is definitely going to affect his work. Y'all got to remember, he works a lot with law enforcement. So, who in the world in law enforcement may have gotten next to him and, got him to work on what may have been their side? Child, listen, the question is, what family was he really working for? Because the Ten of Cups is the family card. What family was he really working for? Was he actually working for the Metcalf family this whole time? It's just a question. Was he working for the Metcalf family this whole time? Yeah, I'm starting to feel like that's what this was. Like, he was always there as what could possibly allegedly be a paid provocateur the whole time. And everything would have been everything had he not have come out with those racially insensitive shirts. That took it too far. So yeah, I believe that before believing he was working with Mello's family. He was working with Mello's family, but not for Mello's family, if you get what I'm saying. Because this looked like he went over there to work with the family, but he was working for the other family, allegedly and for entertainment purposes only. Didn't I tell y'all he gives me Sam L. Jackson from the Django? And things literally, it's like we have to push this, we have to streamline this. But it's like at this point, child, this when I tell you I wish I could laugh dead in his face because the nine of swords, the four of cups to the ace of staffs, which is the ace of wands. It's like as soon as they got him to do what they wanted him to do, they went on about their business. They didn't need him anymore. They instantly rejected him. And now he has anxiety because Judas, you got your 30 shekels of silver, and now your services are no longer needed, allegedly, and for entertainment purposes only. So you literally publicly just you just expose yourself in a way that no clanman could have ever exposed you. Yep. So they're going to come back to court to talk about this altercation, the Five of Wands, Six of Swords, which talks about somebody trying to escape a toxic situation. They're going to go back and look at that footage and say, hey, from our vantage point, it looks like he was trying to escape, people attacking him. So just like the Metcalf still has two GoFundMe's. Listen, and they wanted to shut the family GoFundMe down or make us think that the family didn't have the right to receive GoFundMe's to help their child. And then you want us to believe that the family wasn't doing right by the child, but you didn't think it was nothing wrong with the other family getting GoFundMe's to help with their stability. So he's yeah, I just feel disgusted in this energy. I really do. I mean, I can't say that I really had much respect for the man, but what's less than nothing? What's less than nothing? Whatever spiritual consequence he get out of this, I don't feel sorry for him. I really don't. I really don't. This is somebody's real life that you playing with, and you deserve whatever you got coming to you. Even if, Carmela was actually guilty, it's still just a horrible thing to involve yourself with the family just to turn on the family because you never planned on being a part of the bigger picture anyway. So let me get out of this energy because this little raggedy ass man done pissed me off. Like I literally feel my blood boiling. That's exactly why I didn't tap in and do this reading because my blood is boiling. Okay. Adam 22 and his wife facing fraud charges and the future of No Jumper podcast. And No Jumper podcast, I felt like was going to run its course anyway because it's so gang culture based. And for, No Jumper to not be a gang affiliate and to not be a part of that life, it's like you are taking the worst images of a community that you're not a part of and highlighting it for profit. Nothing good after a while comes after that type of energy, but I mean, it is what it is. Um, Let me see. What's his wife name? Lena? Ain't that her name? Child. say, yeah, I never watched that show. I only know about it because of academics. I've watched it in the past, but I'm not an avid watcher of the show. Um, I was done with the show when they had Nova. Okay. And for those of y'all that don't know who Nova is, Nova is an underage young girl who, wherever you come from, on the track, on the blade, you know, streetwalker, they apparently this little girl is out there in the life. She was only like maybe, I guess, like 13, 14 when they first started showing her. And they would interview her mom and like literally like y'all are introducing this little girl to people who could possibly be passing her around. That's right, soft white underbelly. Like they had to get a lot of people protesting against that channel for them to take that content down with that little girl with that mesh net shirt on with no bra on. Just it just pisses me off to think about how they were advertising this young girl as a you know um sex worker. And No Jumper was a part of that, was a huge part of that, was, what him and his wife do. So think about it. If that's what him and his wife do, and you're introducing people to this little girl, why were you introducing these people to this little girl? What was this all about? And then y'all want to get mad at BJ because BJ is covering this story, and it's like her and a few other YouTubers are covering this story, and y'all trying to say that stay out of black people business, but you ain't tell No Jumper stay out of black people business. He got this little girl, you know, around all these grown folks that's trying to take advantage of her, and then you got gang members with small mentalities talking about she fast, but ain't nobody talking about the men that's taking advantage of a young child. See, I can't stand that when people always want to call the child too grown or fast, but don't nobody want to talk about the grown folks that are ruining the child and putting them in that headspace and that energy to be out here like that. Said, right, she wasn't old enough to consent, much less be filmed for the profession. That's right. And her mother definitely should have caught a case, um, because you knew your child was out here. You knew that these people were interviewing your child, all of the above. And I don't feel like the mom did what she was supposed to do to get that child out the streets. But thanks to the public backlash, she had to go before the court. She had to take parenting classes. But to me, you just pray that that baby can get some therapy and the damage is not done, that somebody can help her heal. Ain't that about nothing? The word on the street is the mom is a federal informant. Oh, I heard the mom was still working too. They probably did throw the mom a few dollars. I mean, think about it. She allowed these people to interview her child, and it was the public that said, take this down. Not the mama, the public. Mm. So let me go ahead, y'all. Tap in on No Jumper, his wife, and the future of No Jumper podcast. So I don't see her YouTube channel no more. It kept getting mass reported. Okay, so you got the Page of Cups here. So, child, what type of message is No Jumper waiting for that's going to have him highly apologetic? Because here at the bottom of the deck, it's like Six of Pentacles. He needs money and he needs a lot of money. Like he needs somebody to give him money, donate money, some kind of situation of that nature. You said Nova do Twitter content. Child, I seen a video of her driving around. It was late as hell. She was driving around, had somebody car 14 just riding. I said, damn, your mama don't supervise shit. Says she's on TikTok now and she's bad. Well, I don't even want to call her bad because I mean, really, it's bad parenting. It's not like she got good parents, somebody to really rear her in the right direction, and she's, bucking back. That baby raising herself. Ten of Swords. Oh no, Jumper, did you snitch? Cause why is this a card of betrayal? A decision that was made that turned into a betrayal. Two of Wands at the bottom of the deck to the Ten of Swords. So you apologizing for betraying somebody? I if y'all been with me for a minute, shout out to my OGs. I said when Big U and them went to jail and his ass got out that he talked. This feels like we may find out about him allegedly talking. Damn, actually do anything for $4. Sheesh. King of Swords. Yeah, legal problems for him and his family. Ten of Cups. What the hell is going on with No Jumper? Y'all, he was out in the parking lot of, where he films his show. And I guess he was trying to do like a TikTok video where he was supposed to be dancing. Child, that was the craziest thing I ever seen. Like somebody was in their office and was recording him on their phone, was like, no jumper out here supposed to be dancing in the parking lot. I can't call it dancing, y'all. He looked like he had hit some of that methany and got stuck in that slow Beetlejuice. I don't know what he was doing. It wasn't to no damn beat. He looked like he had hit something and was gone. Violet, I'm serious. It was terrible. And this explains it. Six of Pentacles. He needs money. He's deep in his feelings. He don't want to say it, but he need money bad. Something is going on over there at the No Jumper podcast. Money is not moneying the way it needs to. I don't know if he lost sponsorship or what, but he needs some money and he needed it like yesterday. Yeah, Seven of Cups, trying to consider his options. Page of Pentacles on business, how to run the business or starting a new business. He may altogether try to drop this podcast and say, well, I don't think I want to do this no more. I want to go off into doing something else. But if he does say that, it's because he ain't making no money, y'all. Oh, Lord. Knight of Wands. Knight of Wands and the King of Pentacles. So it looks like this is how he makes his money for the most part anyway, through adult activities. We know him and his wife, they do the things. So it's like that's where the real money is coming from. The podcast is no longer a source of viable income the way it used to be. Why is that? Why is the podcast drying up financially, allegedly and for entertainment purposes only? Why is the podcast drying up? Okay, Nine of Pentacles. and the Page of Wands. Y'all, it looks like he wants to take his money and go and put it into something else because whatever he's doing, it's not manifesting, it's not working. Um, if he's trying to try a new business venture or a new business model, it's not working. Said he lost his biggest money maker when the girl left, probably. I don't think it's got nothing to do with the girl. I think this might have to do with when that situation popped off with Big U. Um, People right now are just nervous. There's a lot of federal indictments going on, and No Jumper's name is still attached to that case. So, when you got people in gang culture, street culture, they tend to stay away from the people that got the police watching them. Okay, you got the high priestess. Y'all, high priestess to the ace of pentacles. Secrets surrounding how you really make your money. That Adam 22 reminds me of Vlad. Interesting. Yeah, he's not being honest about how he really makes his money or the amount of money that he makes. Yeah, two of swords and the six of swords. It's like people are cutting him off. They're seeing him as toxic. They're leaving him behind. So it's getting, that's what it is. It's harder for him to get the kind of people that he wants on the podcast. No, excuse me. He can't get the interviews that he wants. A lot of the people in the streets are steering clear of him due to worrying about the legal ramifications of what's been going on with him. And they don't want any parts of the legal problems. On top of um, a lot of those street dudes, they don't really get down with, how him and his wife do what they do. It's like, I ain't gonna judge, that's your business, but couldn't be me. So it's getting interesting over here at No Jumper, y'all. It's getting interesting. Queen of Cups. He's trying to follow his intuition on how he should move forward, what he should create. The Empress. It just looks like he wants to create another business model. He wants to. Child, he may even try to leave California to do something different. Ten of Wands. It's becoming a heavy burden for him. It's getting too heavy. Um, Public humiliation and scrutiny. Child, this is terrible. Is everybody getting humiliated right now? So Angel been saying this from the jump about him. Yeah, but to watch it play out, like I saw this a while ago, but it's like it finally landed. He's got all kind of legal issues, and he needs money for something. Knight of Pentacles. Yeah, he's not making the money he used to. The money has slowed down tremendous. It's enough to cover the bills, I guess, to keep the lights on, but it's not enough for expansion or to, really get those big ticket interviews, things of that nature. It's like he's hit a dry patch. Yeah, Nine of Swords, lots of anxiety, lots of worry. Yeah, these cards are iridescent, so I have to turn them up. You can see it on the camera. I have to turn them slightly so I can read them. Yeah, Four of Wands. This talks about his marriage, his wife. It's something about him and his wife and the marriage where it's like how he makes his money is tied into his wife. But then there's also secrets attached to how they really sustain making their money. You said those cards are cool. Thank you. I got them a while ago, uh, because I wanted to use them for like legal readings, presidential readings. As you can see, these are like, founding father Mason inspired cards. And each card represents a very prominent time in history. So the Empress under the Seven of Cups. This man got some weird stuff going on because it's like literally there could be a secret baby. It's like trying to consider your options on which way to go to create new opportunities, new businesses. But the truth is coming out on him. Ace of Swords. Yeah, the Fool. He took a leap of faith. Four of Cups. Is getting rejected. Is not working for him. And the King of Wands. So King of Wands is like it gives me the energy of he's trying to keep up appearances until things can work out and he can move things further into what he wants to move them into with his wife. But child, his oh Lord, King of Wands to the Queen of Pentacles at the bottom of the deck. I gotta say, allegedly, and for entertainment purposes only, child, his wife may have already moved on, even though they're together. Allegedly, y'all don't be surprised if his wife pop out with a black man, like they get divorced, and she pop out with Mister Mandingo, Mister Swang'em Long, Mister Tallywhacker Supreme, and that's who she end up doing her work with from here on out. Damn, sir. It just get more and more embarrassing for you. You said Mr. Tripod. Woo! Yes, Mr. Baby Leg. Cause King of Wands. That wine. This Adam, this feel like you done let your wife mess with somebody and now you can't compete where you don't compare. This so pitiful. And if she leave and pop out pregnant as well, child, I'm gonna be done. You said from a from from a tadpole to a swordfish. I'm done. Lord, 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 I'm done. Yeah, so you got the chariot here, which is trying to move forward after heartbreak or move forward through heartbreak. I think his wife already left him, y'all, and she's really the bag. He may have taken a lot of his money from No Jumper to tie it up into, they tallywhacker business. And it looked like she may be leaving him for Mr. Tallywhacker. See, this why I don't believe in that sharing stuff. You still want to be outside, go outside and stay out there. I mean, to each his own. Everybody has a certain way they do things. Some people, they work well swinging. But child, it looked like she swung and did a dismount and landed somewhere else. You said King Dingaling. Yeah, King of Wands would definitely be King Dingaling. Yeah, finally. Poverty. Five of Pentacles. Ace of Cups. He gonna lose everything to this wife in this divorce if the divorce goes through. Because it looked like literally, it looked like she gonna take the bag and run off. I'm not trying to laugh at this man, y'all. I promise you I'm not. But this is pitiful. It looked like she gonna take the bag and run off with Mr. Tallywhacker and leave him with absolutely nothing. Now she ain't gonna pop out with Tarzan. She gonna pop out with Mandingo. Okay. She hoo hoo hoo. I hope this don't happen to him because this is embarrassing just in theory. Knight of Swords talks about messages coming out. Let me see what the hell is this over here? Messages coming out about him being cut or dropped. So he could be losing a lot of sponsors right now. Damn. Child, this is miserable. This is miserable. I probably should have did this one on TikTok. I mean, not TikTok, excuse me, y'all, Twitch. Speaking of Twitch, hold on. About to. Oh, God. Whew. Hey, 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 hey. Welcome to Allegedly Fridays, where all things said are for entertainment purposes and are alleged allegedly. I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up over here on YouTube, and we're going to keep the party going here. So, all of you that are here with me on YouTube, if you like, come over to Twitch and come kick it with us on Twitch. My Twitch is the same handle, Angel Kisses the Oracle. And for those of you who are watching me, if you'd like to book a reading with me, please email me at angelkissestheoracle@gmail.com. A 30-minute reading is $44, an hour is 88. An ancestral reading is 111, and a criminal aid reading is 250. That is the only reason, excuse me, the only reading, there we go, that I have that is a 3 hour block of time. So I'm gonna end this one here and we gonna go over here. And y'all meet me over on Twitch at Angel Kisses the Oracle, same as this page. I'll see you shortly. Good night, YouTube. Come on over here and cut up with me on Twitch. Love y'all. Good night.